Welcome to another Leaf Shave video with me on a beautiful day. Hashtag Team All Blade and hashtag No Blade Left Behind. You know I've got to say Subi smiles to all of you and squad goals. Thank you so much for clicking into our video and for joining me. I'm thrilled to have you here. Hopefully wherever you're watching from today, you got yourself something cold in your hand, you're sitting in a comfy chair and you're ready for a shave. I know I am. Today we're going to be talking about the Leaf Shave Thorn razor and what happens if you reverse shim it. That's right, we're going to be sticking essentially two blades in there, one with the blade removed so that we get less performance, not more performance. We're not intentionally trying to lift the blade up. We're going to be increasing the gap of the cap instead of the blade. I'm really excited to talk about it and showcase it. It was a question that was asked here on channel. How do you turn a Leaf Shave Thorn razor into more of a twig without purchasing a twig? That was the question as presented. So I want to do the content. We're going to talk about the answer and how it shaves. I can tell you this, on the face, I did feel a difference between the Leaf Shave Thorn and twig. It was equally as smooth though, and it did absolutely obliterate, absolutely crush the shave. It was gorgeous, really close. And I can tell you this, it definitely was less aggressive, right? I could feel a difference between the Leaf Shave twig and thorn. So shimming, it works. I will continue to say it does work. It may work differently with different razors, and some actually will be slightly more receptive of the mechanic than other ones will be, right? So you'll find some that shimming really makes a big difference, some doesn't really make a huge difference. But today we're going to be doing it with the Leaf Shave's Thorn razor and seeing how it performs. Really excited today. Again, that was a question that was asked here on channel by one of our subscribers, and I want to do the content to kind of help them out. So bear with me as I go through this. I did not develop or make the concept of shimming, but I'm excited to talk about it. We're going to be going through and also using Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This is Future Fiction. Beautiful set. One of the ones that I consistently get really good compliments and remarks about. My wife herself, right? Always when she smells me goes, "That one smells really nice, energetic, and athletic. What is that? It's younger." Future Fiction smells really good. Honestly, I picked this one up way too much for as many soaps as I own, right? I should be much more liberal about picking up other soaps, but I love the way that this one smells. Really beautiful. Just fits with my kind of style. I don't know. I think if it's putting off the idea of sporty athletic, I like that. That's what I want to resonate with. We got it whipped up in our Dreamscape scuttle here, and wow, did it do a fantastic job with my mountain hair shaving brush. Oh, the stuff is stuff of dreams. It's really hydrated today. Hydrated, right? This is like going beyond hydrated. It really is. It's just absolutely runny and ready for a shave. I love it. Like, this is my favorite way to shave. I know people out there that you don't have to dial in for your skin, but I love it when it's just so hydrated and just coming off the brush like it's painting off, right? Oh, it's just releasing beautifully and it smells amazing. Love this. Absolutely love this one. Huge shout out to Phoenix Artisan for consistently making great soap. Okay, let's dive into it. Let's talk about it. David, this one's for you. I'll throw his comment down here. But I want you guys to know that you are heard, you are seen, and I do appreciate each and every one of you. When I can get a video in for everybody that was specifically requested, I do try to do it. So today, we're talking about reverse shimming. What happens with shimming, right, is you're sticking a material, something underneath a blade to either lift it or to reduce it so that it has less or more efficiency, right? Think about it as like the XY axis is zeroed when it's full, just regular, the blade's just regular in there, right? When we add something underneath, right, it increases the gap. So the 0 now becomes a 1. So you're getting slightly more exposure, more gap, right? At layman's terms levels here, you're slightly lifting it from the plane of existence where it's going to be regular. So that's going to increase efficiency. That's the concept. Now, what's going to happen if we put a material, something, in this case, I've trimmed a blade that fits exactly underneath the head cap. I want to mention that I trimmed the actual shim, right? It's just a regular blade with scissors. I cut the blade right off, and I'm not lying to you, it was kind of fiddly to fit, so it looked exactly like the thorn cap, but that's what I did. I cut it so it was the right length and width so that it would not protrude outside of the leaf shape. Now, because you don't want that engaging with the skin, right? You don't want your first contact of the blade to be something without an edge. That's going to be really uncomfortable. So you want to fit your shim to the razor, which I did, and it fits really nicely. I mean, you can't even tell it's in there, but there is a shim inside of there, right? That is creating more gap between the blade and the actual cap. So that your skin isn't like getting the zero level anymore. It's now getting a negative number, right? Because it's engaging at a lower point. Kind of is the principle here on the neck, as in neck and face, especially the neck though. The neck's the first thing that comes to my mind. It was very, very smooth, but usually with a thorn, if I put down too much pressure, it will bite me. This one, I did add a little too much pressure. I felt it, but it didn't bite. So I saw an effect. I actually could visually, with a number of 1, see an effect today. Let's see how it does on the head shave. Again, we're using some Personna, and these are the med preps. These are the nice expensive blades because I'm all out of the lab blues. As you can see here, we're on just over 3 days growth, just over 3 days. And look at how elegant that took it off. Just beautifully. There is no doubt in my mind that the Leaf Shave Thorn razor is still one of my favorite razors to use to date. I absolutely love the shave I get from it. I think the weight at 71 grams, it's 2 grams heavier now that they're using a larger screw than the original model. So if you have an original one, an easy way to see if your screw's been updated is weigh it. They will be slightly heavier than the 69 grams. Or whatever there is on your scale. On my scale, it's 69 grams, right? If yours is the newer one, right, it will be the lighter or the heavier version. It'll have a longer screw in it, so it will be heavier. Just so you know, kind of interesting. It does shave absolutely gloriously for me. And as you can see, it's easily taking off all of that stubble in one pass. Now, it was interesting when this razor was first released, right? It was released as like kind of a complementary tool to the Leaf Shave's pivoting razor. It was actually designed to go in hand, right? Tandem, and work as a complementary item to their other razor. And what happened is I ended up actually working with Adam. I actually jumped over with Adam when they were conceptualizing the product. And they said, you know, how would it do as a full head shaver? And I was very curious. I posted it. I asked Adam, I said, you know, have you ever tried it? He goes, well, I don't know. I haven't done it. And then about a week later during their testing, I get a text message. I tried it for a full head shave and it worked. Well, then I had to try it, right? So then I got one as soon as I could and I tried it out. And this was actually pre-Kickstarter when we were doing some alpha and beta testing. And then when we found out how great it shaved, right, I was like, oh, I'm happy to showcase and talk about how great it shaves on the head and why I think an aggressive version, right, why the twig, being as mild as it is, I think could be upped and people could use it as a one-off, right? That's kind of the history behind the razor and my history with the razor, which is kind of cool. I got to interact with the creators and work at a fundamental level with it, and it was really cool to see their engineering and their concepts going into play. I would love if we could eventually see this razor offered with a 2 base plate setup like they did with their stainless steel version. Now, the stainless steel version originally was going to ship with 2 different plates that you could swap in and out, right? You could have a twig thorn and a leaf, twig and a thorn. You could have both with one razor, with just swapping it out. They ended up scrapping the idea, I believe, because the screws were so small, they're tiny, they are really hard to work with, and when you lose them, right, the razor becomes really ineffective and dangerous. And on top of that, if you don't get them all the way screwed in, nothing's level, and then that's dangerous. So I can see why they kind of backtracked on the idea, but I would still like to see that idea explored. And who wouldn't love to see this razor in a pivoting format in titanium, right? Let's just dream. Let's have a dream here. If we're talking about underneath the rainbow and a pot of gold style, right? Titanium pivoting, adjustable at it while we're at it. But if we're just going to live here in reality, right? I think that it definitely has changed the shape for the Leaf. For me, we're getting slightly less aggressiveness. We are getting ever slightly less performance. I'm having to do one more pass, but it's definitely got more fill to it than my twig. Crazy! I love the concept of shimming, of just taking something you already own and editing it so that it works for you. I think that's great. I think it's a really good shaver. If anything, it's a phenomenal shaver. I love the Leaf as is, so I don't have any problem with using the Leaf Shave Thorn, and I don't honestly think it's that aggressive for my skin and for what I've used historically, right? Historically, for me, this is not an aggressive razor at all. Now, they do market it that way because I believe the people picking it up, right, tend to not have as much experience, or they know that Leaf Shaves makes a razor that's pretty mild, right? That's really the key critical thing here. It's pretty mild, and that's how it is for me with this razor. Very, very mild, very easygoing, especially if you consider it compared to some of the stuff on the market, right? Some of the other stuff on the market, I think if you say that the Leaf Thorn is aggressive, would shock you, would scare you. Some of that stuff scares me, to be honest. Awesome shave, really enjoyed it. I did have to do a little bit of buffing, so it did have an effect. I would say scientifically, N of 1, right? Get yourself a paper out, get yourself an Excel spreadsheet out, and add 1 mark, right? Just give me 1 cell of evidence here. Anecdotal evidence here is that it shaved really well, but it definitely did not shave quite as fast or as closely first pass as my Thorn typically does. I would say it's like a slight marginally different. The skin feels interesting too. It also is slightly different. We're gonna grab some of our splash and throw it on here and see how we did. And if we have any flare-ups or irritation, nah. Nothing like it always does, right? This is perfect as I would expect from one of their razors. It's just a phenomenal shave as usual, but it definitely had an impact in the overall quality of the shave during, right? Post shave quality, same, no difference. But like during the shave, right? The actual the stubble removal, I could feel a difference. It has a performance change. Crazy. I hope this helps, David. There you go. There's an idea you can try. Again, other options if this shimming technique seems a little daunting, because it kind of is, right? Stacking everything together, all assembled. I would recommend personally trying a different blade, right? I know some people are dead set on certain blades. Like this is the blade that works for me in all my razors. The problem is that may not be the case with this razor, right? This razor may respond slightly different. It is a slightly different shape. It's a very, very different feel on the skin. And you may find that, going to trying different blades may be a better option for you. That's just another option. I know you said no twigs. No, you don't want to purchase a twig. I hope reverse shimming is a concept you haven't tried. And if you do try it, I'd love to know your thoughts and if it impacted your shave. Other people here, please let me know the same thing. I'd be really curious. I know for me, it's not something that I would do regularly. Honestly, I think it's a little fiddly, especially that little tiny head stacking 2 things together, especially as a daily shaver. I wouldn't want to do that, but reverse shimming does work. And I do think it's something that could be explored for those people looking to completely optimize their shave, right? They want that fine middle ground between a twig and a thorn. If that's the level of shave you're at and you're dialing it in that close, A, congratulations, and B, I hope that helps. Really love this one again. Huge thanks to everybody out there for watching. I hope you found it interesting and enjoyable. I know I smell phenomenal. And again, if you haven't, it would really help the channel if you'd smash that subscribe button, hit the comment section, let me know you watched it, enjoyed the content, right? I'd love to engage with you guys. It's one of the things I look forward to during the day, and it always brightens my day. It's been an awesome shave, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It's gonna be a glorious day that involves me walking around enjoying this BBS. It was great. Thank you again for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, soup out.